Pleased to be joined by good friend of the show, CPKC Women's Open Tournament Director Ryan Paul. Ryan, welcome back to Golf Talk Canada.
Thanks for having me, Adam. The new name, it's still getting used to it. CPKC Women's Open, but excited to be back in Vancouver.
Totally. So tournament time just around the corner. How are preparations going with the tournament just a couple weeks away?
Yeah, well, the build has begun, and trucks and staff are coming in fast into Shaughnessy. The course, we were there on July 10th for media day, and the conditions is unbelievable. It's such a great golf course, such a tough golf course. Just how fast those greens are running, and the rough will just eat up your balls if the trees aren't going to knock them down before. So it's going to be a great test of golf, but we're very excited.
So this is the first time in this tournament's history that Shaughnessy is hosting this event. We've seen Shaughnessy host Canadian Opens on the men's side in the past, but how is it selected as the host this time around for the Women's Open?
We're very excited. We're looking back at the stats that this is Shaughnessy will now be the first club, the only club in the last 20 years to have hosted both the RBC Canadian Open and the CPKC Women's Open, and one of two this century, which is just unbelievable. And when we had Brooke Henderson and Paula Rito up for media day earlier this month, just listening to them talk about how important it is for the men and the women to be playing the same courses. Now, granted, they were just coming up from Pebble Beach, so it was all front and center, but just having that venue that can host and that is happy to host both the men's and the women's games just shows a testament to the type of golf course that Shaughnessy is, and the excitement's growing.
Well, you mentioned her right there, Brooke Henderson. She'll be the headliner for obvious reasons. She is the winningest Canadian professional golfer. What's it like for you as the tournament director to see the continued success that Brooke Henderson continues to have on the LPGA Tour?
Well, it makes our job easy selling the tickets when we have Brooke Henderson in the field, and she really is that kind of needle mover where the attendance that she draws is just remarkable from fans of all ages, especially the kids. When you see them coming out and they're now wearing the same hats and they're wearing shirts that have all the same logos that she has. Like, I don't know where they're getting them from, but they're dressing just like her and they're watching her swing, watching her play. It's unbelievable, and not even a great athlete that Brooke is, but also a great ambassador to Canadian golf and a person that she is, that she'll spend more time signing autographs and talking to fans after the round than she did playing the round. So to have someone like her in the field is great. In addition to all the top players that we have come to the CPKC Women's Open each year.
I was just going to ask you right there. So obviously Brooke Henderson, like I mentioned, is headlining, but tell us about some of the other names who have early commitment to this year's tournament.
Yeah, well, we have current commitments and early commitments. We have 9 of the top 10 in the world golf rankings, which is unbelievable. We have 21 of the top 25 on the CME Globe money list, which is great. Rose Zhang she is drawing a lot of eyeballs, and she's going to be a huge draw as well. And if we get Brooke Henderson and Rose Zhang in the same grouping, it's going to be pretty wild following that group. But the list goes on and on. Lydia Ko, who's a 3-time champion, she's won the last 2 events that we've had in Vancouver, so she's doing the looking for the Vancouver three-peat. Nelly Corda, the list goes on. And then one name that I think is going to be fun to watch, Victoria Liu. She won the Glencoe Invitational, so she earned a spot into the field that way. She's also a Shaughnessy member, so a little bit of a home course advantage for her come mid-August.
So obviously what happened at Oakdale back in June is something that will quite frankly be hard to top for the rest of Canadian golf history because of its significance. But have you had a chance to maybe catch up with Brian Crawford, RBC Canadian Open Tournament Director, about some things that went right that week that you can apply this time around at Shaughnessy?
Yeah, Brian and I are good friends, and we certainly bounce a lot of ideas off of each other. I don't know if I'll get lucky enough to replicate a Canadian hitting a 72-foot putt on the 4th playoff hole to win, but if we can, that'd be quite incredible. But no, it's having both our opens grow the way they have has just been incredible for the sport, and for someone like me who's been involved since 2007, just remarkable to watch that growth. For the CPKC Women's Open this year, our build is the largest build ever, and I know Brian and I have both been saying that each and every year it feels like. But 75,000 square feet of build for this year, which is 15% larger than what we had in Ottawa. Our hospitality has grown 15% more than what we had in Ottawa, and really those build sizes are passing the RBC Canadian Opens when we were in Abbey in 15, 16, 17. So just to see us grow that much is incredible. And it shows the fans that are willing to come out and watch and support our game, and the partners that are getting behind this tournament as well.
So you mentioned the build out like that. I understand the purse size is really increased as well. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So our purse is at 2.5 million, which we've had an increase this year from CPKC, and always happy to see our purse grow. And the players have been behind it and supporting that. So that's been great. And really, that's one of the main drivers to the field that we get each and every year. But it's also the other things that CPKC does. Outside of that purse, where it's the hospitality and the experience inside, the food that they serve, the gifting, just the way that they treat the players, and even the caddies now too, with the Level Wear Caddy Lounge that's been award winning for us, has been remarkable in helping us obtain a great field.
So Ryan, one of the cool things we've seen at the RBC Canadian Open is the rink. And rumor has it the rink is now making its way to the CPKC Women's Open too. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the rumors are true. The rink now at both the RBC Canadian Open and the CPKC Women's Open coming out to Vancouver, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We had a lot of success in Ottawa last year. I'll say the first couple of days, the LPGA is a very international based tournament, and there was maybe a few players walking into the rink not knowing what the rink was all about, and listening to fans bang on the boards like, no, you got to keep it down. But by the end of the week, everyone got it and was very supportive. We had Brooke Henderson wearing a Sens jersey, Nelly Korda put on a Blackhawks jersey, Elena and Laurie Kane had the Leafs jerseys on. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think the players are excited. We're going to see a lot more bringing their hometown jerseys out to support, and we'll see if we can get a few Canucks jerseys on some of the players.
So the big build out, the big purse, a great list of fields so far. But for any event to go on of this magnitude, volunteers play such a critical factor. Do you know how many volunteers will be involved, and how important will they be in Shaughnessy at the end of August?
We're going to have 1,200 volunteers that are going to make this event happen. It's always astonishing at the beginning of the year to say we need 1,200 volunteers, and so how are we going to get that number? And we always get there. We have a strong volunteer base in Canada, and wherever we go, if it's Ottawa, or when we were at Magna, and now in Vancouver, Calgary next year, that we always get a strong volunteer base, and ones that follow us around the country. I think we have volunteers coming from 5 different provinces to Vancouver this year to be part of the event, which is crazy to see, and one territory coming out of Yukon. But it's great, and they're passionate, they're supportive, they get behind the event like no other, and they're the best ambassadors we have.
Well, the tournament's just a couple of weeks away. For those tuning in, how can they find tickets? How can they attend this year's CPKC Women's Open?
Absolutely. CPKCWomen'sOpen.com. Everything's there. We still have a few volunteer spots left. If you're interested in volunteering, you can grab your tickets. Of course, kids 12 and under get in free. That's with no restrictions. So bring all the kids in, come watch, come cheer on Brooke, and join Brooke's Brigade.
Well, the best LPGA players in the world will be playing one of the best Canadian tracks at Shaughnessy. Ryan, it's going to be an exciting time. Thanks for taking some time to join us, and we'll talk to you again closer to tournament time.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Talk soon.